there are some bloggers who have been hitting members of Congress, we don't mind. In fact, we don't mind if you start hitting us. We don't mind if you start hitting us. Even if you do that 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, that's your right. That's your right. That's your right. I just got this text, no? Ito maganda kasi this, I don't know who a certain Mr. Mark Anthony Lopez, no, posted. Sabi niya, aside from Duke Frasco, Congressman Duke Frasco is our Deputy Speaker, Ace Barbers is also one of the most stupid congressman ever. Fact yan, sabi niya. Oh. Eh, bakla ka pala eh. Oh. Di ba? Fact din yan. Di ba? Oh. Ngayon, stupid ka din. No, sorry, no, I'm just stating a fact. I'm just stating a fact, Mr. Chair, no? Eh, sa tingin ko, that's the way they do things, eh. Diba? That's the way they do things. Eh. Then, it's not, I'm just stating this for the record that I just received this picture. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, the Honorable Barber is recognized.
Mr. Chairman, I just would like to reiterate that the objectives or the objective of the hearing that the Tri-Committee is conducting is not to suppress the freedom of expression or the freedom of speech. In fact, we are all aware that this is provided for in our Constitution. And we'd like to respect and honor the right of everyone to his own opinion and to his own expression. Contrary to what others may be thinking, this is not in any way, Mr. Chair, a tool to suppress their expressions or their opinions on certain or several issues. Whether it may be in political point of view, or maybe economic point of view, or even other point of views. It's just a way of perhaps adopting what are the best practices of other countries in relation to the employment or deployment of social media platforms. Our take, Mr. Chair, being members of the 19th Congress, is to establish a set of rules, conscious of course, the constitutional right to freedom of expression. Yung sa atin lamang po ay isang polisiya or framework na kung saan ay hindi magamit po ang mga social media platforms for spreading fake news or espousing disinformation, misinformation, or malinformation. And that is perhaps, Mr. Chair, what this representation would like to make it clear. No? Though there are some bloggers who have been hitting members of Congress, we don't mind. In fact, we don't mind if you start hitting us. Even if you do that 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, that's your right. But please, be careful with what you post online. Because if these are found to be fake or lies or falsehoods, then there are laws that can be used to penalize those who have abused that freedom of expression. Kaya po tayo may mga batas. And let me remind them too that this right, though it is provided for in our Constitution, is not an absolute right. So para lang po malinaw to put the discussion in the context of what we want to achieve in this particular hearing, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Your Honor. Before we proceed further, let me recognize the physical presence of the Honorable Geraldine B. Roman. Magandang hapon po.
Mr. Chairman,
the Honorable Barber,
after listening to all our resource persons, I get the impression that our resource persons present in this committee hearing today agree to the fact that there must be a code of ethics or code of conduct among actors in the social media platforms. So, yan po ay isa sa mga layunin nitong ating committee hearing na to. And we would appreciate, Mr. Chair, if we can ask them to perhaps send to the committee via email your suggestions as to how we can craft a regulatory policy in the use of our social media platforms in the country. Other issues such as paano po kasi napakalaking problema talaga ng fake news. I'm sure hindi lamang ito sa Pilipinas, no. In fact, other countries, no, has also come up with regulations, no, dun sa kanilang bansa, no. For instance, sa Egypt, no, meron po silang nagpasa rin sila ng ilang mga batas to regulate the distribution of information and its accuracy in print and online media as well as social networks para pugsain ang paglaganap ng fake news. Meron din pong ilang mga journalists at website administrators suspected by the government of publishing fake news at sa tingin ko, isa yun na dapat nating tingnan din when we craft this policy. Sa Singapore naman po, meron din silang batas doon na nire-require ang social media platforms kagaya ng Facebook, YouTube, X, na magkaroon ng warning sa mga posts that the government deems false at pinapayagan pa ang gobyerno to remove comments that are against public interest. Dito kasi sobra nananawagan ng kudeta, nananawagan ng kaguluhan sa bansa, no? So, sa Singapore nga, di ba, nililimit yun. The government of Singapore will take down immediately all these contents or posts that proposes such violations or such actions. Sa Brazil naman, para sa kanilang 2022 elections, nagkaroon sila ng deal with Facebook, no? Para mapigilan ang paglaganap ng fake news in relation to the upcoming elections. Kabilang sa parte ng deal na ito ay ang number one, pag-prohibit sa mga advertisements which call into question the legitimacy ng kanilang elections. Kasi meron pong experience daw sila na hindi pa tapos yung election, meron na nagpapalabas ng resulta, no? Which creates confusion among perhaps their voters. Number two, yung removing posts that violates policies on our voter suppression. Number three, paglalagay ng mga label sa post about political elections at dire-direkta ang mga tao sa website ng kanilang electoral justice for more reliable information. So sa China, ganun din. In fact, hindi nga nila pinayagan pumasok dun yung mga social media platforms and they created their own, no, so that they can regulate and ano. So, gaya ng sinasabi naming paulit-ulit dito, the attempt of this committee or layunin ng committee ito ay bigyan puwang ang ating gobyerno na magkaroon tayo ng regulatory policy. Ayaw po nating maabuso ito. Gaya nga nung sinabi ng ilang resource persons, this is for the next generations to come. No? Other than that, of course, we heard serious and alarming information coming from websites that tried to create chaos in the country and confusion. No, last hearing, if you recall, Mr. Chair, Press 1 PH ba yun? Your Press 1 PH, no? Press 1 PH revealed before this committee that there were several attempts, no, from a website that they discovered were coming from China to destroy the credibility of our president. And the like, no, meaning all other politicians for that matter. Meron naman din pong website that are coming from China which promote, no, other politicians or other candidates. So again, diba, may intervention, may interference yung mga foreign countries sa ating bansa which we should not allow. And we can only do that kung meron po tayong regulatory policy. So that's exactly what I want to say, Mr. Chair. If I just a few minutes, I just got this text, no? Ito maganda kasi this, I don't know, a certain Mr. Mark Anthony Lopez, no, posted, sabi niya, aside from Duke Frasco, the Congressman Duke Frasco is our Deputy Speaker, Ace Barbers is also one of the most stupid congressman ever. Fact yan, sabi niya. Oh. Bakla ka pala eh. Oh. Diba? Fact din yan. Di ba? Oh, ngayon, stupid ka din. No, sorry, no, but I'm just stating a fact. I'm just stating a fact, Mr. Chair, no? Sa tingin ko, that's the way they do things, eh. Diba? That's the way they do things. Then, it's not, I'm just stating this for the record that I just received this picture. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Umani naman ito ng iba't ibang reaksyon mula sa ating mga netizens. Ayon kay Mulir Fortes, hirap ng rich kid na lumalamon ng tax tapos sobrang iyakin naman pala. Pahayag naman ni Ivan Lopez, bawal daw magmura sa committee nila pero sila mismo gumagawa. Umiiyak ka pa sa isang post? Kawawa ka naman, daig mo pa bata. At ito naman ang saloobin mula sa ating kababayan na si Cheryl Lamarda, public figure kayo tapos balat sibuyas. Huwag na kayo magpolitiko, barbers. Mga kababayan, feel free to comment below para maglabas ng saloobin sa balitang ito.